Listening part 4. Generally, listening part 4, when you do at home, what happens? I don't know if you get 8 correct, 7 correct, or 9 correct. You should get 10 correct, because this is not really that difficult if you think so. If you follow the strategy I'm going to show you today, it will going to be very easy for you. I'm kind of sure of that. So let's go and dive into it. Let's go and see some of the listening part 4. This is from Cambridge 19 test. I can't remember. It is maybe test 3. Microplastics. Okay. So when you get your listening part 4, what is the problem? The main problem for listening part 4, it will going to be happen at a stress. Like in part 1, 2, and 3, there will be a time in between. Like here, maybe they will going to give some time, not maybe, they will going to give some time from to read the question 21 to 25. Then they'll going to give you some time to read the question from 26 to 30 again. But in part 4, this will not going to happen. What will going to happen? You will need to read the questions at a stress. Same amount of time, but you need to read 10 questions. In other part, you need to read 4 to 5 questions at a stress. But in part 4, you need to read 10 questions at a stress. What is the problem? Maybe sometimes you complete reading all the 10 questions, but you forget most of them. Okay, you forget. So this is a wrong strategy. First of all, you need to mark the green and the red mark and green mark. First point, identify the green and red mark. What is the green and red mark? Let's go and find that. Green and red mark means, okay, first of all, green mark means the questions they will going to take a lot of time before giving you the answer. The questions they will going to give you lot of time, at least some amount of time, more time than other questions, especially for 31. Think about it. 31, they will going to take a lot of time before they give you the answer. You don't need to read it beforehand. Don't waste your time. You can, or you will be able to answer that or read the question and answer that when they will going to give you the answer, because first they will going to discuss about the topic, whatever the topic. Even in other parts, even in other part 4, they will going to give you some kind of descriptions, so you'll have some time. Then you will have some subtopic in the starting point. They're going to describe that too, so you're going to have a lot of time before starting the 31. You don't need to read it. Then it's very easy to identify. See, before 32, look at it. Before 32, these are the 3 points they need to talk about. They have no other way but to talk about it. They need to talk about these 3 points. So means before 32, they will also take a lot of time. But for 33, they will not do that. 33 will going to come in a very short period of time. So you need to read question number 33 in the way so that in the time of listening the audio, you don't waste your time reading the question. Because as a human being, we can't do multitasking. When you do the multitasking, you are not doing anything. I mean, not doing anything properly, right? Because when you are reading the question, see, you just need to pick one word only. You just need to pick one word. So they will going to say a lot of things out there, and out of that you need to pick just one word only. It is difficult. First accept that it is difficult. So what you need to do, you need to read the questions properly. These kind of questions 30 will going to come in a very short period of time. So you need to read in the way. So in the time of answering 33, you don't need to read the questions. You will just listen to it and answer it. So 33 should be your red point. Maybe same for 34 and also 35, right? For 36, see, for 36, look at this. For 36, this is a sub point. Look at it. There is a sub point. So they need to first give you some kind of idea about the sub point. Then they will give you the question number 36. So 36 again is your green point. So 37, obviously for your red point. 37, 38, not really that red point. 39 again, maybe they will not going to take a lot of time. Again, they will not going to give you the answer in a short period of time, because this is the point. Look at it. This is the point they need to discuss first, then they will come to the 39. So after 38, they first describe this one, fewer seeds to germinate, right? This is the thing they will going to describe. After that, they will going to move to 39. And if you look at 40, again, they need to first discuss this, then they will come to the 40. So see, everywhere when you will going to answer part 4, 3 to 4 questions will always be your green mark. You don't need to read those questions beforehand. You will read those questions while answering. But other questions you will going to read in the way, so that you don't need to remember the things. You don't need to read the questions while answering, while listening to the audio. So when you listening to the audio, you just concentrate on the speaker. That's the thing. So first thing first, right? Identify the green and red mark. We have identified that. Just read the red marks up front. Up front, you just read the red marks. So let's go and do that. Just read the red marks. They enter the food chain. Enter the food chain. Where they entered the food chain. Example in bottle to tapper. But before you read, you need to keep something on your mind, how you read it. See, avoid reading green marks. Don't read everything. Again, you think you need to read like everything? No, you don't need to read everything. Then what are you going to do? I have written that. Concentrate on, in, around the gap. So when reading, you concentrate more on, in, around the gap. Not everything. Everything doesn't really matter. And in the time of listening to the audio, it is very difficult for a student to identify everything, to match everything. Ultimately, you are matching, aren't you? You are matching. Okay, what they are saying. Are they saying food chain? Are they saying bottle? Are they saying tap water? Right? You are doing that. But you can't really match everything. That's not possible for a student. Accept that. So you just read or concentrate. Maybe you read everything, but you concentrate on just in around the gaps. Then track 3 things. You track and. This is a word and. Whenever you will get and, you track that. Like here, and, right? You track and. If there is any kind of word called and, you track that. Okay, if there is and, they will need to say this word. 90% cases, if the questions have contain the word and, the script, the audio, the speaker will going to say that word. 90% cases. All right, so track this word and track articles, track prepositions. These are the things you should track. If there is any kind of like, here is a prepositions, right? Here is a preposition. So if you get, here is another prepositions, here is another preposition. So if you get any kind of articles out there, if you get any kind of, here is the article, right? Here is the article. If you get any kind of prepositions and article out there, you track those, because speaker need to say those articles. Maybe sometimes a little bit changed way. Instead of to, they can say for, right? Little bit changed way, but they need to use the preposition. They need to use the articles. They have no other way. They must. Get an idea how long they might take for a specific questions. You also need to get an idea how long they might take. Per se, like after 32, 33 will come immediately. 34 same, 35 same, but 36 they will going to take a lot of time. 37 it will come immediately, but 38, see, for 38 and 39 they need to take a little bit of time, because they need to talk about this, again they need to talk about this, right? They need to take a little bit of time. It's very important. See, after 37 maybe you are waiting, okay, after 36, 37 will come immediately. Then 38 you will going to wait, okay, why they are not saying this, right? No, they need to discuss this first. After 38 they need to discuss this first. Like after 39 they need to say it, they need to discuss this first, then they will going to talk about the 40. So get an idea how much time or how long they might take for a specific question. Identify word or words that will barely change. Why? To assist you understand when the audio will going to start for specific questions. Why is that important? See, you need to identify at least one word from 10 questions. You should identify like 9 to 10 or 8 to 9 at least, so that you will understand, okay, if I hear this word, means they will going to give me the answer for 31, right? If you listen to here like microplastic, you're going to understand, okay, they will going to give me the answer for 32 now, isn't it? If you listen the word like food, bottled or tap water, right? You're going to understand, okay, now is the time for 33, because lot of the student face that problem. They don't really get the idea, okay, 32 done, did they start at the 33 or not? 33 done, did they start at the 34 or not? So that's the problem. It's very important to identify which word will going to indicate, which word will going to indicate 32, which word will going to indicate 33, which word will going to indicate 34. Very important. So like for this word, for 34, what word they can't really change here? Maybe affect human health. Maybe they're going to change a little bit. They can't change because they need to describe human health is affecting. They need to describe that. So when you will understand they're saying something that referring to affecting human health, you will understand, okay, this is the time for 35. Air, rain. They need to say this. They can't say anything else except air. They can't say anything else except rain. They need to say air, rain. So when you listen to the air or rain, you'll understand. Or even like soil. Look at this. Soil. They need to say the soil word. They can't change it. They have no other way, right? For 36, earthworms. Can't they say anything else except earthworms? No. When you listen the word earthworms, you will understand, okay, this is the time for 36. Correct? Again, when 36 done, then you will listen again microplastics, you will understand, okay, this is the time for 37, right? For 38, I can't really find any word that is referring to the 38. You will always not gonna find that, but at least 8 to 9 questions you should find out. For 37 microplastic, 38, I really can't find anything yet. For 39, a rise of level, maybe this one, they need to say something is leveling up, something is a rise of in the level, means something is increasing, right? They need to say that. So when you listen like, okay, something is increasing, then you'll understand, okay, this is the time for 39. What about 40? Ecosystem, correct? Even they need to talk about the changes, right? They need to say something is changing. They need to say about the ecosystem. They need to say the word of ecosystem. So these are the words we're going to refer. Okay, this is the time for 31. This is the time for 32. This is the time for 33. Okay, so after doing that, when you'll read the questions, like red marks maybe, even when you'll read the questions while they are giving you the audio, right? Like 31, 32, right? How you will read it? You will read in around the gap. Maybe you'll read everything, but you will try to find out what they want you to find out. I'm telling you again, what they want you to find out. That is what you are looking for. So you ask yourself the questions, okay, what they are wanting me to find out. Like here, the first one, fibers from some dash. So from what we can really get the fiber, and that will be during washing. So you mark it. So during washing, from where they are getting the fiber. So you are looking for from where they are getting the fiber. So when you are listening, you are not listening everything. Maybe you are listening everything, but you are not concentrating on everything. You are concentrating on from where they are getting fibers from some dash. So from where they are getting the fiber. That's what you are looking for. That's what you are listening for. It's very important. Because in the time of speaking, in the time of listening the audio, when they are speaking, it is very difficult for a student to understand everything. So you just listen what you are for the answer. Here, you are looking for from where they are getting the fiber. You ask yourself, maybe gather some words in your brain. From where I can get fiber. Done, number 1. Or 31. 32. What they say? They cause injuries to the dash of wildlife. See, dash of wildlife. So injuries to the dash of wildlife. Think about yourself. Forget about the wildlife. Think about yourself. You. Where you can get injured? Where you can get injured? You can get injured in your leg. You can get injured in your head. You can get injured in your hand. Means your body parts. You can get injured in your body parts. So a wildlife or animal also can get injured their body part. Means here you are looking for a body part. Nothing else. You are looking for a body part. We call it gaze work. It is very important to have a gaze work. If you don't have a gaze work, you will find some kind of difficulty to understand what they are saying. Because you can't really understand everything. You can't really pick everything. You need to find one word. So gaze it. What types of word? Maybe you won't be able to just gaze the exact word, but you can really gaze. Okay, like here, you're looking for a body part. When you listen to a body part of a wildlife, you understand, okay, this can be my answer. Number 33. Let's go. They're saying they enter the food chain. What? Microplastic. They entered the food chain. And they are giving you example. Easy means examples. Examples means the microplastic can be found where? Can be found in food chain. So they are giving you example. It can be found in bottled water. It can be found in tap water. So you're looking for something. You're looking for a food. You're looking for a food or a drinks. Where you're looking for a food or a drinks name. Nothing else. You're looking for a food or a drinks name where microplastic can be found. So they said microplastic enter into the food chain. They're giving you 2 food. Like here is another food. See, seafood. So they're giving you 3 food name. One is bottled water. Okay, it is drinks. Ultimately, it is a food, right? So bottled water, tap water, and seafood. Now you are looking for another food name. So when you are listening to this for this answer or for this question, you are looking for a food name or a drinks name. Something that people can eat or drink, right? That's what you are looking for number 33. That's how you do the gaze work. Same thing goes for 34. They may affect human health. They may affect human health, but they are already banned in skin cleaning products. So they are already banned in skin cleaning products. Means you cannot use microplastic in skin cleaning products and dash in some country. So you cannot use microplastic in skin cleaning products. Means you cannot use microplastic in something else, means a product, another product. You are looking for another product here. They are giving you one product name, skin cleaning products. Here for 34 you are looking for another product that also banned not to use microplastic. You cannot use microplastic in that product, because here is the product, so there is the and. You will also listen and they will gonna say that use this word and. They will going to give you some skin cleaning products name, and then you will also look for another product except skin cleaning products, because skin cleaning products already are here, right? So you are here to answer the 34. You are trying to listen for some kind of products name. Simple. Number 35. Microplastics entered the soil. Microplastics entered the soil through, look at it, through air. So microplastic can enter, go into the soil. Go into the soil with what? With air, with rain, and with what? So something related to the soil. Something can go under the soil. Air can go under the soil. Although you can't see that, but it's go under the soil. Rain can go under the soil. So there are another thing will be answer, what can go under the soil. So when you are listening something here to answer 35, you are listening for something that can go under the soil. Obviously that thing will have the microplastic, correct? All right. 36. Earthworms are important because they add dash to the soil. Again related to the soil, right? Because they add means earthworms are important. So if you don't know what the earthworms is, don't bother. This will not going to play the role. Here what you are looking for, focus into that. They add dash to the soil. So they are saying, look at it, use your natural sense. Earthworms are important. It's a positive thing. It's a positive thing. It is important. When we say something is important means it's a positive thing. So because why they add, that means what they add, that will also be the positive thing. That will also be the positive thing. So they add something, some positive thing into the soil. When you are listening to the 36 question, you are listening for something that make soil positive, that makes soil better. Okay, what kind of things that make soil better? Think about it, use your sense, you will get the answer. Even before, sometimes even before listening to the audio, what things that make soil better? That's what you are looking for. 37. This study aimed to find whether microplastic in earthworms affect the dash in of plants. Now affect the dash of plants. Affect is negative thing. When we say something affect means it's a negative stuffs. Affect the dash of plants. So when something affect means negative, right? So negative thing affects always positive thing, isn't it? Negative things always affect positive thing, because negative things cannot affect the negative things, right? Think about yourself, think about your life. Negative things always affect the positive things. The earthworms affect the dash of the plants. So something positive, you are looking for something positive stuffs of the plants. So they affect the dash of the plants. Think about some positive things about the plants. What do you think? If you have a tree, if you have a plant at your home, like I have one, if you have that, just think about it. What you are looking for this plant? What kind of positive things you are looking for that plant? You'll get the answer. 38. So saying the study or research sometimes found that microplastic caused dash loss in earthworms. So this is the loss for what? Not for the plants, loss for earthworms. Loss in earthworms. So the study found that microplastic caused dash loss, negative loss, less loss, decrease, dash in earthworms. So something loss in earthworms because of microplastic. Something earthworms lost something. What they lost, what they lost, what are the things that decrease, what are the things that loss in earthworms because of microplastic. You are looking for that. 39. A rise in the level of dash in the soil. So fewer seeds to germinate, and then said a rise in the level of dash. So they need to say something is increasing. Something is increasing. So what is increasing? A rise in the level of dash in the soil. Something increasing in the soil. So what is increasing in the soil? What is increasing in the soil? Think about it. What things increase in the soil? Number 40. Changes to the soil damage both ecosystems and dash. So changes to the soil damage. So damage. Think about it. Damage. They need to say damage, negative stuffs. Negative. So they do the negative stuffs. They do the damage for ecosystem that they have said. They are damaging something else too. Except ecosystem they are damaging. They are also damaging something else. What else they are damaging? And there is also an and. Correct? So this is very important. Gaze work, right? So whenever you are reading the question, you try to understand what type of question, what type of word I might find in my script, in my audio, in the what kind of word speaker might gonna say for this question. That's what you are looking for. So let's revise a little bit. Let me help you. From here you are looking for from where you are getting the fiber. Second, you are looking for a body part of an animal or wildlife. You are looking for what? You are looking for something that also contain the microplastic. You are looking for a food. You are looking for a drinks, food or a drinks, right? In 30, to answer the 34, you are looking for a product. Except skin cleaning products, you are looking for a product. For 35, you are looking for air, rain and something else that go into the soil. What are the things that go into the soil? Air can go, rain can go, what else? For answering the 36, you are looking for something positive to the soil. Atoms are important because so they add something positive. So what are the positive things that to the soil? So when answering 36, you are looking for something positive. Okay, positive stuff to the soil. 37, so affect the positive things to the plants. So one, this is to the soil. See the difference. 36 to the soil, 37 to the plants, 38 to the earthworms, 39 again to the soil. So these are the difference, right? You need to look for here. Damage to the ecosystem. What else? That's what you are looking for. So let's go and try doing that. Give it a try. Then I'm gonna come back after finishing the audio to help you out and give you the explanation why this answer have the answer, why you make the mistakes. I'm gonna describe all the answers. I'm gonna describe something else that will going to help you a little bit more than this. So let's go try that and let's see how many you can get correct.
You will hear part of an environmental science lecture about microplastics. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
In today's lecture, I'm going to be talking about microplastics. Microplastics are tiny pieces of plastic smaller than 5 millimeters in size. Recently, there's been a greater awareness that there are large quantities of plastic waste, big and small, in the environment. The amount of plastic waste in the oceans has received widespread attention, but far less is known about the effects of microplastics in fresh water and particularly in soil. Microplastics can enter the environment via a number of different sources. Threads and microfibers detach from synthetic clothing every time they're put in a washing machine, and these find their way into the water system. Other sources include big pieces of plastic waste that are already in the environment, and these break down into microscopic particles over a period of time. On a larger scale, factory waste is another route, as are tyres, which wear down as cars, lorries and so on travel along road surfaces. We already understand some of the impacts of microplastics from studies involving fish and other animals. There is evidence that microplastics harm small creatures in a variety of ways, such as by damaging their mouths or by impairing their ability to feed. For example, when microplastics get lodged in their digestive system. Surprisingly, perhaps, it is likely that humans consume microplastics, as these have been detected in a wide range of food and drink products, including bottled water, as well as in water that comes direct from the tap. What's more, salt and many kinds of seafood have also been found to contain microplastics. However, it's important to underline that there is not yet conclusive proof that microplastics cause significant harm to people. In many countries, including here in the UK, there is legislation which prevents manufacturers from adding plastic microbeads to shower gels, facial cleansers, and toothpaste. It is very difficult to accurately estimate the total amount of microplastic particles in the soil, as they can be hard to detect. But we do know they are carried in the air and deposited in the soil by rain. What's more, many of the fertilizers used by both farmers and gardeners contain microplastics. A team from the Anglia Ruskin University in Cambridge has carried out a study of the effects of microplastics on the digestive tracts of earthworms. These worms, which live in topsoil, are an essential component of our agricultural system. By feeding on soil, they mix nutrients into it, thereby making it more fertile. The researchers set out to discover whether the introduction of microplastics into the soil and the subsequent ingestion of these by earthworms would impact soil quality and ultimately inhibit plant growth. The short answer was yes, it did. After placing 3 different types of microplastic particles into the soil, they planted perennial ryegrass. The particles of microplastic, which included biodegradable PLA and conventional high-density polyethylene, or HDPE, were then ingested by the earthworms in the soil. The result was that the worms lost weight rapidly. What's more, a lower percentage than normal of the ryegrass seeds germinated, and the researchers concluded that this was a direct result of the earthworms being unable to fulfill their normal role in making soil more fertile. The team also discovered that there was an increase in the amount of acid found in the soil, and this was attributed mainly to the microplastic particles from conventional HDPE plastic. The conclusions of the study make for very interesting reading. I've included the reference in the notes to give you at the end of this session. To summarize, the authors proposed the idea that we need to regard soil as we would regard any other process in nature. This means we should accept the implications of soil being dependent on decaying and dead matter constantly being passed through the bodies of earthworms. That is, when soil becomes impoverished by the presence of microplastics, not only ecosystems but also the whole of society are negatively impacted.
That is the end of part 4. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part.
Okay, so let's go and check your answers. In the meantime, we try to describe some kind of your essays. Not only that, the most important thing is here to describe and also analyze the script. So we'll try to do that in the meantime together. So let's do that.